What's up, guys? I am continuing my coverage of the brand new characters in Mortal Kombat 11 this time around. I just got finished doing a video about Kronika. That's the correct and proper way to pronounce her name, Kronika. And this video is all about Geras. So guys, if you didn't catch my first video about Kronika, definitely check it out, especially if you want to know more about who she is, what she's all about, what her agenda is, who she's mad at, what she's trying to do. That video is all about that. It gives you a great overview of who she is. I finally had the opportunity to take all of the information, the bits and pieces that I've collected, and create a comprehensive presentation about who she is. And not only that, later on in that same video, I actually go into details about the story mode. So guys, if you want to know more information about the story mode, definitely check out that video because Kronika, of course, since she can manipulate time, she's moving between the timeline of Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat 10. So by her moving in between 9 and 10, that gives you a good understanding about the direction of the story mode and what you can expect to see as it unfolds. So yes, so not only that, but guys, I also in the last video decided to do some coverage into what you can look forward to in terms of the gameplay style in the story mode itself. There's going to be there's a lot of emphasis on decision making, and the developers wanted to give the game players more control over the outcome of the game. So there's multiple outcomes that can come out of the story mode. Some people can choose Raiden's side, some people can choose Kronika's side, and there might be even more outcomes out there as well. But the developers wanted to place even more emphasis on the players having more control, even more so than what happened in Injustice 2, because of course Injustice 2 gave the players the ability to choose between Batman or choose between Superman, the good ending versus the bad ending, things like that. And the developers wanted to take that all a step further with Mortal Kombat 11. Alright guys, so bringing things back to Geras. Now I have an article that I'm going to read for you from Polygon.com. This article is called Mortal Kombat 11's Time Cheating Character is the game's coolest new addition. Geras can rewind time, put opponents in timeout, and even manipulate the time clock. This article comes to us from Michael McWhorter. And this article is, I chose this article because it's great for basically spelling out some of his more powerful moves and highlighting some of his combos and just giving you a great overview of what he's capable of doing. So the article kicks off by saying, when NetherRealm Studios unveiled Mortal Kombat 11 last week, the game's brand new character Geras might have looked like a fairly standard grappler. He's armed with a few familiar Mortal Kombat style teleportation and freeze moves, plus the ability to manipulate stone and sand. But Geras is easily the game's most intriguing character thanks to his ability to manipulate time, including the power to influence the in-game timer. One of Geras' abilities is called Lost Time and Spare Time. It consists of two moves, Lost Time, which subtracts up to 30 seconds from the clock, and Spare Time, which adds 30 seconds to the clock. Lost Time has some restrictions though. Naturally, Geras can't remove the final 9 seconds of the match, even if the timer is already under 30 seconds. Lost Time and Spare Time cost 2 ability slots out of the total 3 you can use in a customized character loadout, meaning that NetherRealm considers the moves to be pretty powerful. Those timer manipulation moves can't be paired with some of Geras' other high-powered moves like Reawakened, which resurrects him when his life bar is drained and takes 2 ability slots, and Rewind Time, which takes 3 slots and behaves like Tracer's recall ability from Overwatch. Geras' Rewind Time move takes him back in time 4 seconds, both in terms of his position and health, as seen in his reveal trailer. Streamer and fighting game commentator David quote-unquote Ultra David Graham explored how Geras' abilities work and the intriguing ways they can work together in a 20-minute video captured at last week's Mortal Kombat 11 reveal event. In it, Graham explores some of the fascinating and potentially maddening ways in which Geras can chain together abilities to aggravate his opponent. One combination Graham puts together chains Geras' ability to freeze opponents in place, a move I believe is called Temporal Advantage, with Shifting Sands, which behaves like a gravity well, slowing and inhibiting an opponent's movement. He quickly follows that up with Lost Time, eating 30 seconds off the clock. As shown in the GIF below, Geras makes it difficult for Baraka to reach him and overcome his health deficit. As Graham notes in his video, which you can watch at the top of his post, there are other moves that Geras players could combine with Lost Time to run down the clock more effectively. NetherRealm may tweak and rebalance some of those moves over the next few months. But however, if some of these moves that Geras has winds up in the final version of the game, he's certainly going to be a fascinating character to watch in high-level Mortal Kombat 11 play. Alright guys, so this article really gives you a good glimpse into Geras if you are one of the many gamers that has not been able to get their hands on Mortal Kombat 11 just yet, myself included. But I chose this article because I felt like it really gave us a good glimpse into some things, and there are some things I would like to talk about just really quickly. One of them being the fact that he is able to add and remove 30 seconds from the clock. And I really like this. I think this is really clever on the part of NetherRealm, because not only are they allowing the character to have time manipulation powers, but by the character manipulating the time clock, it's also allowing the player themselves to manipulate time overall over the round by using Geras. So NetherRealm has taken it to a whole nother level of just the whole concept of time manipulation. Not only are you able to manipulate time by freezing your opponents or rewinding time using your character, but you can also use Geras as a character to subtract and add time, and you yourself, the player, can manipulate the time of the round overall. So Geras is really adding a whole new dimension of gameplay. NetherRealm Studios has really applied their brain to Geras, and they're coming up with some really unpredictable strokes and techniques of gameplay, which it'll be really interesting. Like this article said, it'll be really interesting to see someone like Sonic Fox or Tweety or some of the really high level pro level players be able to use and come up with some creative combos, like intermingling these time movements, these time manipulation elements, and these combos, stringing them all together. So I can't wait to see that. Another really cool thing that I'm excited about Geras with is the fact that he can actually rewind time. So one of the GIF files that I actually saw him, actually had him fighting against Scarlet, and he was able to, he jumped from one position over her, and then rewound time, went back over her, went back to his original position, and had his original position along with the same amount of health that he had before he jumped over her. So that in and of itself is going to be a real mind-blowing technique to see, like I said, on like a pro level of playing, to see exactly how someone who is really a master at combat or a master at gameplay be able to use Geras and that technique to their advantage. And of course, it leads us to that last combination that they mentioned in the passage, where it talks about Geras using his several abilities. Temporal advantage, which freezes the opponent; shifting sands, which creates like a sandstorm around the opponent; and then the lost time, which takes 30 seconds off the clock. You can literally hit your opponent, drain their health bar so that it is lower than yours, and then you can freeze them with temporal advantage. You can create the shifting sand, which resists their movement toward you, and then you can eat 30 seconds off the clock, and literally manipulate time on that level throughout the round so that you can maintain an advantage over your opponent. So like I just said just a few minutes ago, literally NetherRealm has upped their game to where now you can literally, with the character of Geras, manipulate time yourself through the time clock and possibly win if you wanted to use that method of winning the round, just by draining and resisting and freezing your opponent and draining time off the clock. So Geras is going to be a lot of fun, guys. I hope this gives you a bit more of a glimpse into who he is, what you can do with him, what you can look forward to. There's so much gameplay available with him in it now that you can just look up on YouTube. So definitely I encourage you guys to check that out from some of the gamers that were actually present at the live review event. And I can't wait to see exactly what Kronika can do, given that he already has such strong time manipulative abilities, and he's not even the villain. So, alright guys, stay tuned. I have more videos coming up. Astronaut out.